toe decision making for both Lynn and Rare Atom in this series, just because of the fact that the map pool has changed, and as well we have these sort of inherent strengths as well, and we always get very close games with these teams. It can actually be very hard to strategize, I think, for either of them as to which way to go.
Well, let's head into the game right now, as I've just got a word that it is Anubis picked up by Rare Atom, and they've just taken that first round as well. Unfortunately, we ended up missing that one out, just a few technical hiccups going on that side. But I'm kind of amazed by this, to be honest. To just run everyone through, it's Anubis, the first pick of Rare Atom, Vertigo, Lynn Vision selected that, and Overboss is the remainder, with Rare Atom actually banning out Nuke in that second phase.
Yeah, jeez. That's, it's a strange place to end up, but will be my first time actually getting to peer into Anubis from this side of the corner. You know, played a lot of it on matchmaking and certainly watched a decent amount of it with show matches and last event as well towards the tail end of last year, but there've been quite a few strategies, quite a few cool things that people have been discovering as time has gone on. Real community effort to make sure that everyone's up to scratch. So calls might be something that's a little bit more labored for us in particular. You know, you get through muscle memory so frequently.
Oh no, we're going to suck at this, yes. But a quick heads up, Michael. It is a 4v5, and the first round which Rare Atom won up 4v5. So not quite sure what's going on over here. Some tech issues coming through the server, but Mosaic trades things out, keeps things nice and even, as he will keep 3 kills on his own side, and despite the advantage, obviously that makes it a 2-2. Bomb being chunked down as well in the B bomb site. And that'll be the Deagles on the recovery mission. Oh, what a shot from Westmelon.
Well, it seems like Mercury's in a 1-on-2 now. Oh, well, no, that just could be a second. No, there's a 2-on-2. Don't trust the HUD. Just do not trust it whatsoever. They're on the defuse, and they're not actually going to be able to get it off in time. Mosaic does get both kills, but it comes in a fraction too late. Nelly was sticking it with a kit, and I don't think they would have expected that coming into a force buy. Those 5 seconds went by too quick.
You know what, Michael? Not having a HUD and it being a new map makes this really strange.
It was, yeah, no, I think definitely. It wasn't something I even initially clocked, because I think I saw 5 on radar.
Yeah.
And I looked at radar more than I did the HUD. So, well, we're okay. We've got 5 on both.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah, the HUD's just a little slow.
Janky. Well, either way, Zacker's got an op out and he starts things off easily. Mercury and Mosaic trade out where they can, but it is still an advantage coming out for the Rare Atom side. Westmelon's hoping to be able to funnel back in with the MP9, maybe try and get aggressive, but no flashes, nothing of the sort around it, so we will have to wait to see.
Yeah, once that smoke fades, I think Westmelon's in for a pretty bad time. In fact, there's going to be a new one, so we wouldn't even get a chance to really swing back into this one. It is a bit short-lived. Win a force buy, answered back by Rare Atom almost instantly with a buy back. This is going to really shake up that economy once again here for the squad. That one round they won, they had no money. They had no survivors. Very little to take forward. At the very least, Westbound should be able to get this from us, no problem. But some, you know, nice thought out rounds here from Rare Atom. At the moment, we've really seen them target this B bomb site. They are slow working it, and they're making sure as well that they don't get caught off by any of these sort of advanced CT positions. I think it's something we anticipate when we enter new territories. You know, I don't think Anubis has been played too extensively within the Asia region as of yet. Most of the opportunities or most of the tournaments that have sort of forayed into it have been sort of the North American or European side. But usually when we have new maps, people are a little too aggressive. You know, really trying to exploit the discomfort.
And there's always some strange off angles that you end up finding. Oh, back in canals, Mercury's finding those pieces of aggression and making sure that they can't really come out on top at all. He's had a great start to things. Good to see both him and Mosaic fragging up. Mosaic had a slightly quieter time yesterday. The rest of his team was able to generally keep things up to speed regardless. But now, Jamyang getting himself back in Fountain. Helm's Deep, as has been crowned by Mitter, being helmed by Nelly, as he will end up falling. I love that call out. Great.
I think it's just hard to argue against just calling it
Heaven.
Heaven, yeah.
Okay. But Helm's Deep.
I know. Not saying it's not a good name, but
yeah, could be hard to remember for sure.
We got copyrights to think about.
That is true, actually. Can you imagine if we just had a lawsuit because some caster, me, called it Helm's Deep accident?
Yeah, I mean, could happen.
Like, sorry, ESL, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, nothing. They're nothing similar. They're not even similar. We're not in the right universe. This place is awfully sandy.
Indeed.
And I hate sand.
Well, that's the first tag coming out of Lynn Vision. I'm also, Mike, actually, I wanted to get your opinion on this while we're on a bit of an anti-eco. How do you think Anubis is going to shape out for some of these Asian teams? You know, because we always credit Rare Adam with, hey, these guys don't exactly play like the European style. Maybe they have more set strats, but it's closer to the default first and then still have a goal at the end of the round from the beginning, sort of called out. So
I think this is a cool map just because, you know, it kind of goes against most of the design philosophy of other Valve maps. You know, you think about how much they try to sort of push people away from doing spawn smokes on Dust 2, for example. People are learning spawn smokes on Anubis because the skybox is very open, and it's a map that I feel like you have to in order to take control of areas very quickly. So, yeah, I know. I think it's actually going to, in some ways, help sort of ingrain the sort of Mirage quick mid takes into some of the more budding up-and-coming Asian teams where, you know, otherwise they might not have taken some of those steps previously, and they might not have thought that they needed it.
I mean, especially with how important bridge control is sort of shaped out to be so far, yeah, those spawn smokes will be... Dacker, meanwhile, looked like he was set up for success, but Mercury as well chooses to double phase that smoke, and he's got the AKs, just comes out on top. Yeah,
the fights at the moment towards Underpass or the canals have been very poor for Lynn so far. You know, they've tried to fight around the smokes, they've tried to sort of phase them, and I think they've tried to throw a couple themselves as well to sort of creep out, but almost every time there's a Rare Adam player waiting for them to make that kind of contact. B-bomb site, or sorry, the A-bomb site, and Mose's going to find 2 entries. Jamyang alongside him with a 3-man stack there for Lynn. It's still not enough. They didn't have the weaponry to really fight back. And so Westmelon will try and skirt off with his AK. He was able to pluck out of the hands of Mercury, but again, it's these two prongs to the assault. Mercury's doing a lot of damage over at the B-bomb site. Mosea this time over at A doesn't need his partner in crime.
Or just a heads up, I was just doing some checking in the meanwhile. Lynn Vision have played Anubis once, I do believe, in an official. That was against Eruption, or formerly known as Raft, the Mongolian team on the come-up that do have a lot of... they've got some players you might recognize, like Dobu and Coolest, but generally speaking, a lot of up-and-coming players. They lost out to them 12-16 on Anubis, so maybe that's one of the reasons why Rare Adam's coming in from it. And Rare Adam, the last time they played Lynn Vision on Nuke, when they picked themselves, it went like triple overtime or something. They were like 45 rounds, so hey, I could see why they've gone for this.
It's not only just that, you know, they had 40-something rounds the last time they played, and then the time before that, it went all 30. So,
okay. They don't want long games, that's what it is.
No, yeah, and they've had a bit of history in terms of just how close the games do get on Nuke. We talked about Rare Adam as one of the strongest Nuke teams probably within the Asia region, but against Lynn, it's not a guarantee, not like against some other teams. Well, there's that control that they've been trying to get for a long time. Flash in towards the canal, Starry clears it, and nobody was there on the receiving end for Rare Adam. A little bit more fixated on potentially working into a slow A play. Maybe as well with how much success they've had in the canals, they're anticipating that Lynn just won't put much emphasis in that area in the coming rounds. Good to see that Lynn are sort of moving against the grain in that regard, but you can see how slow Rare Adam are playing out this round as well, because with how much success they've had in the early stages of this half, they're anticipating something to change here for Lynn's defense.
they're also finding it slowing things down so much. I mean, we saw that yesterday, right? And Inferno, that was sort of their go-to. Slow things down, just don't let people get crucial map control, and then get a death ball going somewhere. The problem is, I actually don't know how well people are recognizing what the most crucial map control bits are on Anubis yet, right? Like, sure, there's the obvious parts like bridge that you just have to fight early on, it seems like, but beyond that, let's see how this shapes out and what Rare Atom are looking to do with 30 seconds. This is a set strat being primed up for the A-bomb side. At least that's what it looks like for now. They will get connected control. No one's there to contest them, but right around the corner, Nelly lies in wait. Farmers only, and it is overcome. Kaze finds X-Pro elsewhere on the map, but only to be traded out by a flanking Starry. No, what? Oh no, Zacher!
That was the way back in the round. Now as well, yeah, Starry focused in on the flank, and Westmelon's too far away to get anything going on the retake. That kill would have certainly swung things back into Lynn Vision's favor. And this was off of a strat where Rare Atom pulled them towards B. You know, they threw these 2 smokes over as part of a set play execute, but instead they reeled themselves back into this mid to A. And yeah, Lynn fully bit down. You know, they had 4 players in proximity to that B bomb site before they realized that, oh wait, they're not even going to this site. It's a real rough one to lose. You know, especially when we talk about the fact that these teams are quite closely matched. To have this go so one-sided to kick things off, and you know, you're talking about how previously Lynn had a bit of a rough time, or a bit of a, you know, they didn't succeed in the last time they showed up on Anubis. If Rare Atom have been able to do a little bit of homework and throw in this curveball where Lynn might not even have anticipated this, because it's not like Rare Atom have missed out on chances to make Anubis against them previously, they just didn't.
I mean, for Rare Atom, as long as they're able to make sure they don't fall to one of these anti-ecos, anti-forest spies, as IHC was prone to do a few times last time over, they should be in an excellent position here. Because Lynn Vision, I mean, this is the problem that they're going to run into, which is that when they have map control, the stacks that they're able to go for seem to be much less effective than what would be on a traditional map. You know, you don't have the same kind of information, you don't have the same kind of experience calling off of it. So it's very much Rare Atom in the driver's seat, being on the T side, just being able to do whatever the hell they want to, unless they lose out those opening duels.
It's also quite funny because Rare Atom were supposed to be one of the representatives from the Asia region in a previous season of the ESL Pro League conference. You know, this was when we had 16 teams come out, and we had them come from all different walks of life. And then they ran into visa issues, and Tyloo took their spot instead. Where Tyloo was... disappointment maybe is a strong word, but...
horrible?
They didn't exactly show their best form.
Yes,
and
that's true.
I think it was definitely a marker for what we now know as the decline of Tyloo, actually, in fact. So
yes. Tyloo was a false start. They had a very good overpass versus MIBR, and people started thinking, hey, maybe they've got a chance because MIBR was one of the stronger teams, and then they just, like, crumbled. It was not fun to see. All right, that being said, though, onwards and outwards. Starry with the AUG is trying to get a nice little angle around the smoke going for himself, but Canal still remains relatively uncontested. Rare Atom are fine with giving that up early on and just making sure that boat control isn't actually taken away from them or really fought for. And that much aggression, we're not going to see that.
I think the big problem for Lynn is going to be that they almost feel like they'll need more information to work off of, but yeah, with how well Rare Atom started off this game in punishing the aggressive moves or the information plays that Lynn wanted to go for, it's very hard to make the argument that you should continue making those plays, because you can almost rationalize it as the reason you're in this position in the first place. Still probe. Smoke down, and they have an inkling over towards this B bomb site. They've got a lot of presence in this direction. Westmel as well should be able to drop in from the canals and get this quick flank towards Dark, where there is certainly some pressure being applied, but Rare Atom are still staggered over towards B, and they have run thin on resources. Only one still and that player down towards the under has been dealt with. So Jamyoung, Kaze have to be able to pluck this out. This shouldn't be a round that they're able to piece together, but they're actually finding kill after kill, and the trades just keep on coming for Rare Atom. They were stuck 4-on-2, and they still beat out every single one of these fights.
Gosh, that's such fantastic communication between Jamyoung and Kaze coming out towards the end there. You can see how comfortable Jamyoung is to just put faith down Kaze that, hey, you know what, you can keep an eye out towards the back of the bomb site, towards Palace, and see whoever's speaking in from there. And yeah, I'll discover off your close angles. And Rare Atom did get stuck there, right? Like, clearly, they didn't have a plan B after that first player went down, after Zachar gets the frag, but he just piece it all together with sheer firepower and will.
And that was the best looking defense we've seen from Lynn Vision so far. Yeah. You know, let's not forget, our first round for Lynn on the CT side was 2-on-2. They try and stick the bomb on a force buy, and they just barely get it past. This map feels like it's going from bad to worse here for Lynn. Maybe they're destined to have a big fat 0 on their Anubis column. Technically, they currently exist.
It's okay. I wasn't going to call you out.
But you need a certain amount before it shows up.
On HLTV, yes. You need 4 maps before it shows you having that big fat 0%. Yes. Yeah. Thing is, I would actually really love it if Lynn are so... obviously not for this tournament, but in general, I would really love it if Lynn was so bad at Anubis that they were forced to play Mirage, because I think they've got insane players for Mirage, right? Like, the aim on these guys, man, this is a team that I wish they played Mirage.
Yeah, it's just a preference thing, right? I mean, Mercury? I think people would have made the same argument for Astralis on Mirage, you know, it's much the same vein, but...
No, man, Astralis weren't as puggy. No?
I mean, you know, you think about the strengths of that old roster, you know, Zipex's lurk and clutch factor, Mirage can certainly offer that, you know, the AWP taking over and Device. You know,
I get it, but yeah, they're no Lynn Vision, you know? I
mean, I get where you're coming from. I just think that the argument could certainly have been made. You can't change X-Pro's mind.
Yes. It's sort of like when I found out that Entropic with Alien and everyone just didn't play Inferno. I was like,
but why? Yeah.
Well, there's another buy coming out from Lynn Vision. This has to be the time when they sort of find an extra game and put a stop to Rare Atom's machine, because there's no way I can see them coming back from double digits. They look a little bit lost right now. They need to be able to bring this down to at least, you know, 5-6 rounds. X-Pro 0-9 right now. And when your IGL's having that bad of a game, listen, he's never going to be a massive fragger, but he needs to at least feel somewhat in control of what's going on around him. At the same time, question is, where is this sort of aggression going to come through from the CT side? Because we've seen passivity doesn't necessarily do them any favors. They've been very concerned about beacons, and rightly so. This time they haven't gotten any canals control or anything like it, or even attempted that. But with Westbound giving a bridge this early on, where's the adjustment going to come in from?
Kind of want them to reinvestigate the canals like we've seen in some of the prior rounds, but just with how well Mercury has been sort of guarding that area, again, it's very hard to make that argument from Zachar. He did fancy a Gander. So there's going to be some utility exchange, but there's such a heavy presence over Stretch. The flash is great, so a trade can be easily lined up. They can split towards the same bomb site quickly.
All comes down to whether or not Mercury is eliminated early on. Nelly needs to make a move, and with Mercury revealing his position, Nelly should realize that they're coming in from behind. They are thunderfooting forward. Nelly doesn't turn around in time. Definitely some miscoms going on over there. Kaze even discovering X-Pro back in canals, and this is just looking like Lynn Vision's comms are falling apart. They've got no idea what's going on either side of the map right now.
Yeah, I think really, really hard position to be in if you're Nelly. You know, there's a smoke in front of you that's going to fade within the next 3 seconds, and you hear all these steps behind you. I think he's just hoping that that pillar fully hides him away, and that they don't come in with the same level of, I guess, scrutiny of all these different angles within the bomb site. Really hoping they just somehow doesn't get cleared, and he can find himself in the midst of the chaos, but not to be. Where Adam are on the ball and are really making it hard for Win Vision to make a call as well. It's constantly stuck in flux, and when they think it's one direction, it's somehow the other. You know, I think that's what we can really act as testament to Rare Adam's preparation coming into this game. They are toying with them in certain areas, and I think this is one of the things that people will have to start considering. I think it was Sponge that was maybe more of the proponent of this, but the idea that treat Ancient almost like you would treat Inferno. You know, the rotations between the two bomb sites can be quite quick, especially if you have the sort of dominion over mid, as well as with the sort of early trading of utility. There's a lot of elements that are quite similar. Or sorry, Anubis, yes, not Ancient.
Yes, okay, fair. I was very confused.
Yes, yep, sorry.
All good, all good.
But the idea basically being that you trade so much utility in the early rounds, those areas that you're fighting for are crucial to sort of quick rotates and just even basic map control, so...
Oh, goodbye, Mercury's elbow. And the rest is Zacher. Deadly fellow with that AWP. They are trying to jump through smokes. Okay, this is the change of pace that they're probably not expecting. Oh, beautiful lineup from Advent. Uses the high ground as well and pushes through the smoke afterwards, almost finding Westmiller with a gun away. And now Westmiller's going to fight away against Kaze's up. One of the objectives has to be making sure he stays alive right now. You've got to have those 3 magical numbers if you want a chance of really bringing it up to 6 at this stage. Kaze already eliminating 1, and now with the bomb on his back and 40 seconds to work around with, there could be a real chance here. Starry hooks it off, and he will find Kaze trying to hover through it. That is a round where I think we saw 4 players from Rare Adam cross through a smoke at one point or the other.
Yep. No, I think that tally is correct. Certainly did try to go for a change of pace, especially when they saw that Zacher was there with the AWP. Maybe they were expecting that Nelly wouldn't have been on the bomb side with him, so they could quickly overwhelm that AWP. You know, typically 1A isn't uncommon, I think, so far from what we've seen from pro play. Definitely a side that feels more retakeable. But good. Lynn get on the board with a proper round. They changed the setup as well.
Oh.
A lot of noise there for jamming the work off of, but hard shot.
Thought he had it. We saw a few of those yesterday on Inferno as well. The jump spot across broken wall, and bam!
Yeah, this time he actually had the audio to work off of. I think that's maybe more akin to an overpass jump spot on short. Jamyang has hit a few of those before, so yeah, could have been. More smoke shenanigans here from Mosea. Westmelon's not having any of it. So they'll start with a man down.
Westmoreland has to take a slightly more aggressive stance as well. Before he was sort of just playing around with, just checking out what's going on in bridge. Instead, gets a bit more aggressive right to the bridge window around that smoke, I believe.
Yeah, he's been sort of aggro in the late rounds as well. More information, but
nice.
A very good kill there from Mercury. And Westmoreland's found in middle as well, so the trades have equalized things back to 3-on-3. And with 35 seconds, Rare Adam, their posture looks like a B play is in store, and Expert being dead is a big issue because Nelly and Starry don't have foothold on B.
And they have to fight for this, otherwise their money's going to be reset right back to it. At this point, it practically already is. Nelly's wondering whether it's even worth it to take a venture forward for the 1v3. He does have a kit, but beyond that, no substantial utility that can really help him out too much. Kaze can also just cover off the angle as well in the meanwhile, and yeah, he's just going to have to back off.
I think this is definitely a case of a little bit too much going on at the same time there for Lynn Vision. I know it's something that I've spoken to about in the past. I mean, albeit, grain of salt, UK in-game leaders. But, you know, when you have so many players that are willing to take initiative, you know, you get to the late stages of a round and they all want to do something. You know, they want to get that information that's crucial for your team winning the round. This looked like Lynn were almost simultaneously pushing on a number of different fronts just to try and get updates on where Rare Atom were going to go. And as a result of that, they fall into this trap where Rare Atom actually weren't accelerating the pace too significantly in those last 35 seconds. They were still slow creeping into their pincer on B, and they find kill after kill because Lynn are peeking into their crosshair.
And I think this is very indicative of just the fact that Lynn are slightly lost on the map. I think it's fair enough to say that, hey, even when they do get the advantage after that, the only call is, guys, just hold your angles, see what you can find, see what you can do. And then everyone does that at the same time, to credit what you're saying. Westmelon gone. This time he tried to go for the same offense. Repeat offenders not allowed in the business. Mosaic would end up finding Nelly on the other side of things. Will check the angle. Flashbang was good, but Nelly still wins out the fight. It's Advent instead who chases him down before. It was Kaze at risk, and now it's all about making sure these remaining few weapons are taken out of the CT hands. And as they peek out, they give up a bit too much. Back to a 2-on-2 with bomb possession and control with the CTs.
They were going to look for Mercury, but with that smoke down, it's going to be really difficult for them to anticipate this. Mercury knew as soon as Nelly was found in middle that there was going to be a lack of pressure and a lack of presence over at A, but look how much ground they're trying to take. Jamyoung's trying to flank in from the B bomb site. Mercury's got this attacking angle over at A, and while Mercury's spotted, do they anticipate Jamyoung to also be on a flank? And there's no...
Smoke down. I mean, he's got a one-way to work with as well. Zach is going to be very careful about it. Oh, no, not quite a one-way, but he's just going for the jump spot. 30 seconds. Zaka should have this any day of the week as long as there isn't some sort of strange shenanigan going on over here. And there you have it. Jamyoung ends up falling, but only one player kept alive. Once again, Lynn Vision will not be too happy about the health of their economy as you move into the next one.
Yeah, definitely a scary round, and one that they had to pull extra resources away from that A bomb site. I think Rare Atom will be kicking themselves as well a little bit, the fact that they didn't have at least one of their extremities players sort of targeted over towards A in position. You've seen Mosaic work for a few of those entries in earlier rounds, but this time he was further away from the action. If he was able to get there a little bit sooner, might have been able to save his teammates. The Lynn are changing up their setups. You know, they are very actively trying to do something a little bit different on their CT sides, and it has been somewhat fruitful thus far.
X4 has also found his first kill, so that's good.
He also almost died at the start of this round, so...
Hey, that's been a standard.
Yeah, could have been stuck at that one kill.
Exactly. Mosaic has been spotted in the meanwhile. This could just be a quick pincer setup that they try and go for, but at the same time, Rare Atom are going for an aggressive bomb through. They just want quick control, and Westmelon isn't ready. Kaze is being more aggressively going for the second, but it's Nelly to come out on top. Somehow wins out the duel with the pre-fire. Back to a 3-on-3, but the remaining Lynn Vision players are too far away. This will have to be a retake attempt.
This is exactly, I mean, the type of thing you want to see. And take a note, anybody that's watching at home, you know, they attacked mid previously, and they saw what it did to the A player being pulled in towards A connector. And now they target it again, but this time with Mosaic a little bit closer to A main, so they took that ground, and Mosaic finds the timing where Nelly's transitioning back into the bomb site because his attention was taken towards mid instead. Fully capitalizing on information they garnered in the last round, even though it came down to this one-on-one that they weren't able to convert. Yeah, Lynn were effectively boxed out positionally based on how Rare Atom read the rotations. Terrorists win. Cool, smart stuff here from Rare Atom, but yeah, I think it's definitely of note. You sort of tried to shimmy it in there, but there are visible signs, I think, of discomfort or lack of repetition for Lynn. They've got the lineups. You know, you can see that they're trying to implement quick utility lineups and something of the sort, but it can be very hard to find the right place and time to do so when you've not been pushed in awkward and uncomfortable positions as frequently as Rare Atom have been sort of putting them in this game.
Looks like he's priming up for a B pop through long. Mercury's also been fantastic, like you already outlined. Down the play as he goes in, wants to be the second man in, but he just gets cleared out quickly. Oh, they wanted Jamyung to be the second man in, but Jamyung doesn't even come in from behind. That smoke was in the middle. Kaze will shoot right through it.
We slow things down, and we see what Mosea, or rather, what Mercury can get done over on the A-bomb site. See Rare Atom just pumping the brakes. And this is a long-range fight. If Mercury was to take it against an MP9, so wouldn't have been anything too threatening. But that fresh smoke is going to certainly push them another direction. You're really going to feel information starved, and that's exactly why Xpro decided to do something like that. Pushing through B and pulling into Kaze's AWP. They're a man down. They're going to start to think that it's going to be this ace B-sided play. Zacher has to be able to stand his ground or get himself away and play the numbers advantage, but Kaze's got an awkward one-way around that smoke, and Advent misses out on his shot, but will cut the rotation instead. Advent man-possessed in a round like this, where it looked like Rare Atom were completely stumped with Zacher's AWP. Now it falls on Nelly flanking.
That was nutty from Advent. I can't believe he actually managed to come through, switch around for that first shot, get that second immediately afterwards as well. Puts him on 12. That's a fantastic time to end the half, and we're going to take this time to take a quick break. We'll be back to see what Lynn Vision has for the second.
No guts, no glory. There's no need to go begin. I don't comprehend and I do not pretend, cause when I'm coming is to win. Wake up, put the work in, that's the only way it's gonna work out. Hard work and dedication, no time for procrastination. Takes a lot of time, a lot of patience, a lot of heart mixed with motivation. On the days that you're feeling down, look in the mirror for your inspiration. Like, woo, just notice, never stop, never quit. People wanna see you doing good, but never better than them. Gotta push yourself to the limits. You cannot lose if you are not in it. You gotta lose, sometimes it's the winning. Don't get discouraged, it's just the beginning. Yeah, turn up. Don't end up a Timmy Turner. Don't get caught up in the streets. Don't get caught up with a burner. Don't be a slow learner. Oh no, you only get one shot, one chance. Talking March Madness at the big dance. Talking big man on campus. Like no guts, no glory. Not a part of my story. I'm going hard for that trophy. That's why they all been on me. No guts, no glory. There's no need to go begin. I don't comprehend and I do not pretend, cause when I'm coming is to win. No guts, no glory. Not a part of my story. I'm going hard for that trophy. That's why they all been on me. No guts, no glory. There's no need to go begin. I don't comprehend and I do not pretend, cause when I'm coming is to win. From the back roads to back streets, I see you foes trying to trap me, but I don't run like a track meet, even though I'm number one like an athlete. And the way I maneuver around you and through you, I'm coming and I'm bound to pursue you. I'm everything that you knew of, plus more. What's in store is I'm about to get to you. Sleepless nights, better think this twice before you step to me and come and speak with stripe. There's a lesson when you reach my life. It'll be chin-checking and I'll teach you right. Plenty tried, plenty failed. Too many times I've seen plenty bail. And there will be no surprise what I'm about to do when you are looking through my eyes. See many go, see many come. See that they won't bring it to me, son. Try me if you want, but won't be any fun. I'll take the challenge, I'll beat anyone. I'm the one, I'll be quite clear. Bow down to no one, I'm right here. I get it in, I don't fight fair. And guess what? I'm your worst nightmare. Cause I ain't taking no losses. And I don't even care what the cost is. Are you prepared for the forces I'm about to bring, cause I'm the boss of all bosses. I penetrate your thoughts and fill them with doubt. You gon' feel where I'm coming and feel what I'm about. If they come in with the drama, I'm wheeling them out. Cause I ain't about to have somebody here stealing my clout. I keep my friends close, enemies closer. Cause that's the way it is and the way it's supposed to be. Anybody can see there's only room for one, and that one is me. tried, plenty failed. Too many times I seen plenty bail, and there will be no surprise.
Chance in the second half, but I don't think they're going to really be able to do too much with it. We're back, and we're going to see what they have to offer.
Yeah, we might have to just start thinking about, well, not Anubis.
They wish they could think about not Anubis.
Yeah,
Vertigo
maybe they're far more motivated than I. Far more of an optimist. And then Lynn's going to be stuck behind the pillar, and X-Pro trying to find that kill over towards the A-bomb site, but the scaling is a little rough here for Lynn Vision, but finally they get the 2 kills they needed to. There's both that smoke down, it makes it coming out of A-Club. Very difficult, Melly just cutting down the numbers, and Jamyoung gets nothing too. A little staggered coming into that A-bomb site, but ultimately, no real issue there for Lynn, tracking down all of those kills as the CTs rolled in.
Oh, it definitely helps when Kaza misses out like 5 shots in a row. That's true. A bit of a whiff, unfortunately, coming out from him, but could have been dangerous otherwise.
Yeah, I think when your opponent doesn't shoot you in the head immediately, you have a better chance, in fact.
Advin did a great job of being able to distract them for a while. Unfortunately, just not quite the 1-2 setup they'd imagined, right? Just happens. But you know what is nice to see? Stacks. We didn't have too many of these yesterday.
Might be able to overwhelm one player in West Melon. Taking a curl. Flash is great. He had a secondary headshot almost by accident. He wanted to sort of duck himself out of there. Zachary was there to cover as well, but very quick that you'll be happy he was able to attain. Cute idea there from Rare Adam, though. Clearly they had a set flash as well for outside of A main for something like this, so definitely cute.
I think Kaze was the one chucking that out, but well, they're not going to have an op in the next round, so I'm interested to see whether they've got any sort of specific procedures. Obviously, we've been somewhat impressed by what their T-line had to offer. There were still places where it was clear that, hey, there is maybe a slight lack of reps, even on the Rare Adam side. You know, in particular, that 2v4 that they won out by sheer skill. The way that round was shaping out, it was just, they didn't have a second plan after the first player died. So I'm looking forward to seeing whether they have any cute, like, CT side set strats and everything, and something of the sort.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty indicative that they have something like that. I think the good sign for Lynn as well in the early stages of this game is that, the smokes that they've been throwing have gone in with a purpose. This time they had an underpass smoke. They had a mid smoke as well. So there were at least a couple avenues that if Rare Adam did want to sort of stack or have pressure in that particular direction, they would have been met with some resistance in the opening stages. Clear as well that Lynn have been doing their homework just about how quickly they can implement this pressure. This is the thing as well. New maps, often T-sided. People don't know the best way to respond to minor bits of aggression. It's going to be a very fast play for mid-control here for Lynn. See how far back Rare Adam are counteracting this with. They've certainly pulled some presence away from that A-bomb site as well as B. And having these two players fixated on the idea of a Lynn convergence through middle. Oh god, that smoke didn't land where they wanted it to. So that's going to really detract from any of this pressure.
And I'm telling you, like, Rare Adam goes through the most next level smoke, which just failed, but because it failed, the lineup couldn't be done for Lynn Vision. This is...
There's layers.
Levels. Yep. Still full A-side execute coming out of things, but a self-flash is never welcome. X-Pro still gets the frag. Musaya's demise will give them a lot more room, but 2 players in heaven is something they might not be expecting. Still, rotations are swift as well. Rare Adam have got to get a move on things. X-Pro missing out on a chance to double up his initial frag, but it's all down to Starry as he gets aggressive from behind the smoke, discovers Advin and takes him down. They're dropping like flies right now. Rare Adam is falling apart.
I think in much the same way that we were seeing Rare Adam sort of push and pull them between bomb sites, Lynn were, I mean, I wouldn't say as graceful. I think kind of the same level of nuance, I suppose, but they didn't do it with as much grace. A little awkward on some of the mid utility, and with the sort of bungled aggression in the early stages of that round, you could certainly see a world where Rare Adam maybe even claw an advantage out of the early trades, but to have them divert like that from the canals into the A bomb site, just find a series of these entries where after they threw all the smokes on the bomb site, the actual A players couldn't see or do anything about it. Getting too much pressure from both mid and A simultaneously, they didn't know where to turn their attention, and they ended up getting shot in the back. It's a bit more chaos, but the idea was still there.
Well, Michael, ideas are cheap.
Are they?
I read that on Instagram.
Huh.
Gotta be true. Action matters.
Aren't creatives given the most amount of money because they come up with ideas?
I consider myself a creative, and I can tell you, I don't make the most amount of money.
But you're getting given money.
Yes, just stay away from people mostly. Restraining orders didn't work. They just bribed you in the end. Oh, Wes Mellon. Might need a restraining order to get him away from this bomb site because he seems to be on fire with these entries.
The career man. Only been with Lynn Vision.
This is why he is also the best Mellon.
Hmm.
You know, I would love it if someone made like a jingle for Lynn Vision with all of their player names, because I feel like all of them are like
They're pretty
musically. Yeah. You know, Wes Mellon, X-Pro, Zacher, Nelly started the. I could see like a nice jingle being made for like if they qualified through for the major, then for like the major or something.
They're relatively marketable from that perspective, I think. Yeah. I do think the name X-Pro does send the wrong message. When you are current.
Well, there was also the X-God, right? So
yeah, but
make of that what you will.
That wasn't really his alias. That just happened to be a nickname given to him.
Well, regardless,
Heavy
Adam
God
having
is a
all.
different story. Heavy God
It is true.
different
That's fire. That is fire. Adam, however, do have their op out this time over. I want to see what Kaze will actually get done with it. He is getting slightly more aggressive outside of A main, and that could be Wes Mellon ending up falling, but no, Wes Mellon does not fall. He only reasserts himself as the best.
Yeah, and let's not beat around the bush here as well. You know, we certainly were singing the praises of Rare Adam in that first half, but if Lynn start answering back in much the same way, you know, they've been much faster, much more aggressive. In some ways, you know, that adds to more variance, but if they're able to start clawing away at that lead, then Rare Adam could be in for a world of hurt. New map, new territory, not always going to have the most stable footing.
Self-flash into death is kind of unfortunate back there on the bridge.
Yeah, victim X-Pro, so maybe not as current as he would like to be. Jamyong's
got to come through with a big performance over here. He's the only one who can really feasibly put a nice defense in. Does have some backup behind him, so Mercury will be relegated to instead. Mercury able to adjust, but it's Mosea's backup that comes through and keeps the numbers in their favor. Mosea wants to get more aggressive. Backs off in the corner, and he says double peek after double peek. The dynamic duo. That's some fantastic workout.
Yeah, and, you know, always very impressed with how these two play off each other. You know, came into the squad at the same time and have been pretty lights out ever since they started getting implemented into the team. Came through via pugging services, from our understanding. Advent's the talent scout that's looking for new up-and-comers. Something we also praised Lynn Vision for, but they sort of came in very staggered, at sort of different times.
Right, start to things. They're getting aggressive, and it's a lot more successful than what we had from Lynn's side. It's 1 for 1, but realistically, every time Lynn Vision tried to get aggressive in the canals, Mercury just got 3 kills or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, it was like peek under. I'm sure that was the flow chart for Lynn aggression. Still going 1 for 1 is about as much as they could have asked for. Mercury certainly caught them off guard with the timing that him and Jamyong decided to go for that double kill. edge out with one of the stars of Veradum being dealt with, and now as well, sectioning off this A bomb site. Advent's in for a world of hurt. He's going to get split from middle as well as A main.
He's had a few hero moments. The question is whether this will be another one lined up for him. He's being circled around. Opponent has to come through with at least one while his teammates start to come over, but Starry's got the pre-fire and Kaza has been completely mitigated. His ops found nothing significant at all, and even now, unless Lynn Vision get overly aggressive, this should just be a safe goal from Rare Adam. I cannot see them going for this 2v3.
Yeah, you can see them peeling away. This is one of the things as well we're going to have to take note of in future run-ins with Anubis. That A bomb site's very hard to hold. You know, you look at the utility that they throw in that round. One smoke towards heaven, you know, a Molotov to the other side, of it, where you know there's a little brick wall you can maybe play a headshot angle from. Once those two pieces are down and they've got an Acon smoke as well, your sight lines on the bomb site are very limited, and it's very hard to get more than 2 kills from any given spot, because you look at what Advent was trying to do, you know, tuck himself into one of these close corners. He's hoping that they don't clear for him specifically, and instead they're sort of fixated on the sort of middle sight pillar. But if there's no attention, there's no shooting, and there's almost no reason for them to look anywhere else, because there's just this lack of pressure. So holding solo on A is going to be something that we know in the future is just being very difficult to do, because if you could play with good scaling, you're almost always going to get upgrade 1-for-1.
Westman has consistently taken the same angle. Will they be checking it out this time over? Yes, they will. Double kill from Rare Adam. Great follow-ups as well from behind it. X-Pro is the only person to find a frag so far. He's been very good back on range, but with a flashbang coming in, blinding out either side, it's Advent who comes out on top. There's the last player who actually didn't get flashed.
Yeah, this round has kind of collapsed very quickly. Good early bits of aggression to find this advantage swiftly. Yeah, a little awkward with that flash. See if Nelly could somehow sneak on by. They seem to think that the canals is fully covered off, but hasn't detracted from Advent still holding some sort of stake on the A plate. Advent's low as well, so doesn't even have to be a headshot here for Nelly, but a deep angle to clear. Now, I talked all about how getting kills on A, pretty difficult. Usually when there's an execute involved. Nelly doesn't have the courtesy of extra teammates, extra util, nothing that can even feign and execute. Might even get shot in the back in a sec.
Oh, Advent's a man's man. He faces you down, looks you in the eye, and by the time you can respond, he's already shot you twice.
You dare approach me?
He's got a hand on him today. That's true. 9 and 12, but so many of those have been high impact frags.
Starting to get too close to the finish line here, Rare Adam. So another attack timeout by Lynn. Yeah, we see some promising signs. There's some nice sharp shooting, some quick splits. You haven't really seen them go towards the B-bomb site. That was something that Rare Adam were targeting in the early stages of their T-side half. And so I wonder whether this will be the time they decide to investigate that side of the map.
Also where we would start to wonder whether those fast plays were because Lynn Vision chose to do this stylistically or whether they don't really have a second plan, right?
I mean, they hit the A play. They went for the A play in the later stages of the half, so...
True.
It was just about setting conditions in the quarter.
Very aggressive. Oh, he spotted him out. He spotted him out. This is where they should expect that bridge aggression as well to come through in the back lines. And now Mercury's given a full call about what's exactly going on. They know the B-bombs and it's not under risk. Mosiah has to be the one to hold it down. Nelly around the corner with the Mac 10, but it's Advent who once again comes up with the big double, but isn't expecting Westmoreland to be there that fast.
Very reminiscent of some of the rare Adam mid plays into a little bit of an A-feign. And this time they get the bomb planted. These two players are taking so much territory, and they're actually coming their way.
Westmoreland's now gets the first kill for EB, but the second's a quick trade. Mercury want to stagger it a bit too much, but now that he's got information on where Zaka's coming in from as well, Jamyoung's been given the call. Zaka reveals himself straight back to heaven. Has to try play the time, but takes the peek initially, attempting to convert to a 1v1, but that'll never come.
Yeah, good heads-up play there from Mercury as well. Dealt with the forward aggression, and then, as well, didn't overface, didn't over-challenge, you know, anticipated that the secondary player would be right behind him, and read the situation perfectly. All that he required was for Jamyoung to hit the shot, and he's a pretty reliable figure when it comes to hitting shots. 8 to 15, and while we had a small burst of success coming into this half by Lynn, it does seem like those gates might be closing.
Wouldn't be too surprised if that is the case, yeah. Westmoreland been the consistent man so far on the Lynn Vision side. Looks like he's leagues above everyone else, but obviously pointed out a few other players as well so far. Westmoreland is gone though. And with that, most of the round will be thinning as well. Mercury knows there's a player coming through, but Starry flashes himself. That's not the call. And he wanted to go for Mosiah as well. Picks up another, and they're 2 kills away from taking home their map pick and moving out to Vertigo.
Yeah, you think about the success that Lynn Vision had on their aggressive maneuvers on CT side, and you can't think of many. You know, you'd be able to count the successes on one hand, or maybe even half a hand. Rare Adam have already been able to find so much more from the same sorts of plays, and that just comes down to good defaulting. I don't think Lynn are going to be able to pull this one out of the hat. 2-on-5, and they are trying to probe in middle. Advent spotted them, and he's baiting for Mosiah, who's tucking his head away.
Stay hidden. Stay hidden. Digs through the double doors, and he just switches out back to Nelly in the meanwhile. Zacher, 6 HP, and he knows it's all over. With 16 to 8, Rare Adam take out their map pick. You mentioned Lynn Vision had a small resurgence in that second half, but it was very small.
Yeah, no, I think that we were definitely getting ready to just kind of discredit and discount this map as well because of how good a first half Rare Adam had. You know, it felt like Lynn were a little slow out of the gate, and this was something I was talking about previously, is that Rare Adam have had at least one day prior to playing Lynn Vision in sort of preparation and sort of warming up into the game. Some of the